Welcome to January's Fitness and Fuel. I'm Emily and this is Kim. We are going to talk to you this month about our diet destroyers. It is January, so we are wanting to start our year off right. And the main thing with our nutrition is that we usually try to jump in and do everything at once. And I'm going to try to help you focus on the 10 things that would actually ruin your diet and set you off on the wrong foot.
And along with that, there's also plenty of workout destroyers. So things that can, derail your fitness goals. So some of those can be from not fueling before your workout. We've said that in past videos, or refueling after, or during if it's a really long workout. So those are all important in order to get the most out of your workout. And then footwear can be an issue. So it's a personal preference, and everyone wears different types of footwear. But if you're having aches and pains after your workout, make sure that your footwear is giving you enough support for what you're doing, and make sure you're replacing it as needed, especially if you're a runner. And then, of course, form is key. So we're going to talk about form today. We are going to give you a workout, but we're going to focus on 3 exercises today. Make sure you have the proper form for those exercises that are a base for a lot of our workouts. And just like a lot of our workouts are really high intensity in nature, this one is not. This one scales it back. Those high intensity workouts are great to do, not every day of the week. You need to let your body recover. So today is focused on form and some basic moves that use a variety of muscle groups, and we'll give you the workout next. All right, so our workout for January is just giving you 3 exercises. We're going to do them in a ladder from 10 repetitions down to 1 repetition. Of course, you can change that and alter it as your schedule and time allows. We're going to work all our major muscle groups with 3 exercises. So we're going to start with push-ups. So for push-ups, when you think about proper form, you're engaging your core, and we're going to do a pretty neutral push-up that's going to hit your shoulders, your chest, your biceps, and obviously your core. We want to engage the upper back muscles as well. So the first thing to keep in mind when you do a push-up is a lot of people automatically go for a soft surface when they get into their plank, because they think that's going to be a better position. And the truth is, sinking into that soft surface can actually cause more harm on your wrists and more pain in your wrists. So I like to do, I know Emily said she likes to do them too, on a hard surface here. So I'm going to be on the turf. The fingers are spread wide. I'm pressing into all 10 fingers. Shoulders are pulled back. Neck is long. So I'm reaching through the crown of my head as well as my heels. And I go down and all the way back up. And when I'm doing these push-ups, your neck is an extension of your spine. So you don't want to be hanging your head, you don't want to be cranking your neck up, you don't want to be sagging or rounding. You want to be in a nice, strong plank throughout that whole push-up. So your next exercise is a squat, again going from that ladder 10 repetitions down to 1. And for squats, you want to keep in mind that the placement of your feet are really important. So you want big toe, little toe, heel all connected to the ground, because people tend to roll to the outer edges of their feet, or if the knees are collapsing, it can help just to think about really grounding those feet. So the other thing to think about in your squat is how far down are you going? If you have instability in your knees, you have to adjust the range of motion so that you're not going below the point where you can maintain good form. And then on top of it, if you're weighting those squats, there shouldn't be pain in your back or your neck. You should be able to still engage your core and still feel your legs in a balanced way. The quads, the glutes, the hamstrings, everything should be working to get that squat done well. So when you do your squat, you go down, keeping those knees behind the toes, chest lifted, core is engaged, and then from the side, same thing. You can see, hopefully, that I'm keeping my chest lifted and that my hips are sliding back behind my knees. So your last exercise is a forearm plank. We're going to have a little movement to that to really engage the core. You're actually going to be using your lower body as well in this plank. So when you come into your forearm plank, you want your elbows to be directly underneath your shoulders. And you also don't want to be farther than forearm distance apart. Now, you can bring your hands together if you like. You can keep your hands forward if you like, but you never want to be out too wide. So, right underneath the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades back. Keep a nice, strong spine and core the same way you do in your high plank. And from here, think about pressing the forearms forward, reaching through the crown of the head, but then also reaching back through the heels. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take the knees down, hover above the floor, and lift back up. And you'll notice that my hips don't move at all. As you press up, you're engaging the glutes, you're flexing the quads, and again, that neck is an extension of your spine, so you keep it nice and straight the whole time.
So our top 10 diet destroyers. I want you to start your January off on the right foot. So our top 10. Our number 10 is starting with a nutrition plan or program that has an expiration date. If it's only going to last for 14 days, if it's only going to last for 3 months, that's as long as those results might last for you as well. So making sure you change a program into your lifestyle that will last with your lifestyle. Number 9 is our all or nothing approach. So if you are eating good food versus bad food, that really engages a very black and white mentality, and it causes a lot of guilt, causes a lot of stress, which stress is one of our number 1 weight gainers in prevention of weight loss, and of course a big issue with chronic disease and illnesses from stress. We have got our number 8, following the trend du jour. So making sure that you are not just jumping on the next bandwagon of that next diet craze that's coming along. Yes, we are all looking for that one thing that will work. Also, don't go back to trying something that you've done before. By nature of that statement on its own, it worked before. Well, if it worked before, why are you trying it again? Something about it did not work. I know. Don't throw anything at the computer right now for me saying that, but just come on, stick with me for this year. All right, we are at number 7, having too much of a good thing. I work with a bunch of clientele that are very well knowledgeable about very healthy foods. There is something different about eating healthy and eating for weight loss. There is a such thing as too much avocado, too much nuts, too much seeds, too much olive oil, too much coconut oil. You have to make sure you are still aware of your portion sizes for maintaining a healthy weight or if you're trying to lose weight. Under-consuming is our next one. A lot of my population that I work with is a very active population and end up under-consuming for the amount of energy expenditure that they're doing, which means the body will store and hold on to what is being given instead of allowing it to alter that body composition or lose that fat. Lack of satiating foods. So if you are not having enough scheduled throughout the day, put balance throughout the day, protein, fat, and fiber. Most of us get plenty of protein. Unfortunately, a lot of us get it all at our dinner meal. Most of us probably get plenty of fat, but again, it might be more at that end of the day stuff. And a lot of us still need to probably work on that fiber. So thinking of our basis of our meals from fiber, protein, and fat, that can really help instead of thinking always protein, fat, carbohydrate. Another tip is making sure that you're trying to avoid eliminating a whole food group or a food in itself. So again, that sets up that very black and white, all or nothing mentality. We've only got 3 more to go, so stick with me. Focusing on the number alone, whether that number is the scale, whether that number is a calorie, whether that number is a fat gram, a sugar gram, a protein gram, sodium gram. Don't think of one number to define how your eating or exercise style is. Number 2, meal skipping. A lot of us think that if we skip a meal that we are going to save those calories. Unfortunately, it backfires on us every single time. That next meal that we finally allow ourselves to eat, we can sometimes even triple versus just double what we lost. And then there's also that side of things of that we are slowing our metabolism down because we're not teaching our body that we are going to be consistently fueled. And my number 1, this is a personal, professional opinion, okay? Yes, professional, but this is my big thing. Eating from external cues. That is your number 1 diet destroyer. Meaning, I eat lunch because it's noon. I eat snack because that's when I pick my kids up. Please make sure that you are learning what your internal cues are. If you do, you will never have to measure, portion, calorie count, or anything again as long as you learn your balances of your meals. So start your January off right and be fueled.
Thanks for watching January Fitness and Fuel. And one of the things that I really love about the philosophy at NutriFormance as it pertains to nutrition or fitness is that it's real life techniques that are going to work in your lifestyle. None of our dietitians are ever going to ask you to change everything that you're eating or restrict certain food groups or foods. It's all about what works. Never. It's all about what works for you. And any diets or trends that are going to tell you otherwise, again, whether it's nutrition or fitness, there's not one single thing that is the answer for everybody. So you have to figure out what works for you. And this month is all about not letting anything sabotage your plan for the new year. we're not big believers in
Too much pressure.
resolutions because it's so much pressure and it's hard to keep them. But if you want to make that lifestyle change, do something that's maintainable, that works for you, and that you enjoy. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Fitness and Fuel. Thanks.
We'll see you next month.